What's going on, everybody? TG here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys are hanging in there. I know it's another rough one as the NASDAQ falls hard today, as tech stocks are under siege, as Jay Powell's coming to Capitol Hill talking about what's going on, talking about interest rates, inflation, what is in store for the economy, and what is going on. And as of right now, Jay Powell did come out and say that they're a long way from the Fed's goals and that the central bank has no plans to raise interest rates. So that is a good thing. That's why we've had a little bit of a recovery in the market from its lows. So that's obviously a good thing. But of course, there's the problem of inflation. A lot of money being printed out right now, and it's causing some inflation. So the US dollar is taking a hit. But I wanted to talk to you guys about rolling options over because I had to make that decision today. I had to close out all my Amazon and Apple put credit spreads expiring this week and next week and roll them over into Leap options. Now, some of them are not showing up right now. I don't know why. It's really weird the way that Robinhood does this, but it's not showing up, unfortunately. But if we go to the messages and go into our Amazon, we can see that we rolled out a lot of these options and put them into farther out ones. So we go all the way down here. We can look. It has this like weird two option strategy filled. So we did some for 3,800, 3860s, different stuff like that. And, you know, that's one of the things you have to do because unfortunately, when you're in a position with these credit spreads, you could lose a lot of money if it stays under that price. So what I do is you take a loss in the current position and you roll it out for a farther one. So if you guys can clearly see here, we're doing a lot of these where we're buying these back. See these 3/5 ones, we're buying it back for a loss, and then we're go ahead and resell them for a higher one, for a longer date out. Okay, and so a lot of them are messed up the way these things are. Like this, we sold the 3080 and we bought the 3060, so we got a total credit of 1,060. It says filled, but for some reason it's not showing up, and it's showing up as a long put. I think there's probably a little glitch going on, but we did with a lot of these, as you guys can clearly see. We go ahead and we sell the 3,100 and we buy the 3080, getting a total credit of $1,040. So we essentially just rolled these out till next year, January of 2022, to be a little more safe because the short term, we don't know what's going on with Amazon. And a lot of these that we had it for at 3,250, so we were taking a big risk with that. Okay. And right now it's at 3,150. So it would still have to go up another 100 points for us to even be somewhat safe. So I didn't want to take that risk. I have a lot going on and I don't want to lose even more. So I did take a big loss on that. And, you know, it was what's needed to be done. Obviously, you don't want to because I do have faith that it will recover. But the question is when. And sometimes you have to swallow your pride. And sometimes you have to admit, you know, even when you think things should be right, sometimes they're not right. And it's a hard pill to swallow. Believe me, I was extremely upset this morning, closing out every single one for almost a max loss. But I had to do it. I had to do that, and I had to roll them out for next year. I'm not just going to close them out and be done with it. I'm not panic selling. I'm simply living to fight another day. So, for instance, if Amazon stayed where it was, like right now, by next week, and it's still under 3230, 3250, 3260, like all those 3200 ones. I just take a max loss on that, and I was never able to buy the dip. But when it went down, obviously we're selling for a huge loss, but we're getting it Amazon at like 3,100 exactly. And now it's back to 3,150, so that's pretty good. I don't know how it's going to stay. Like I said, we have a lot of these things going on right now, but essentially what we're trying to do is give ourselves some safety. And like I said, we have a ton of these things. I'm a little upset the other ones aren't showing up as of right now. But I emailed Robinhood and hopefully that will be fixed pretty soon. So we're obviously down a lot for the day. I don't know if that's factored into the options that aren't there. If those are factored in, our account will go up a little bit more. But currently it's been a very rough week, as you guys can clearly see. We were up about 5,000. Now we're down 25,000. So we've lost about $30,000 in a week. It's not ideal. It's not what we want, but sometimes these things happen. But rolling out options is extremely good. And obviously, you're not going to make as much. You're not going to make as much when you do these weeklies because you can get an insane percent return. You're not going to get that same percent return on the Leap calls because you're waiting so much extra time. So you might get the same, 50%, 40% return on some of these trades, but you're waiting a much longer time. Whereas weeklies, you can do them every week. But obviously, you could lose, and you could lose big. As you guys know, that's the reason I lost so big was because of these credit spreads. So I love credit spreads. I think they're great. But when they don't work out, you lose big. So we did that. We closed out some Apple credit spreads and used that to actually buy an Apple Leaps call. We can only buy one, unfortunately, which stunk. But we got a great price. You got it for 13. Now it's going for 14. So we're already up 180 bucks on that. Not bad. Apple's starting to recover some as well. But there's a lot going on right now in the market. There's a lot of uncertainty. But I think you stick with quality on these. You stick with Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, companies like that. And I mean, if you look at Apple, I mean, where it was to where it is now, that's a pretty hefty drop off. That's about 15%. And at one point today, Apple was literally 119. Like, that is insane. It's already up 3.5% since its lows. I wish I could have got in at the very lows, but I just didn't have money. And you're moving so fast. You're trying to do everything so quickly that sometimes you lose out on good plays. Now, Amazon is about 31.47, so that thing is obviously down a lot from where it was. You look at 6 months ago where it was. I mean, that stock's down over 11% from where it was. That's a lot. That's a big correction right there. But like I said, we're sticking with quality, and now we're going long term. So let's say this debacle happens where Amazon, doesn't do anything for a couple months. All right, we're going to be safe about that for those ones. Obviously, we have a couple ones March 12th. That gives us about 3 weeks. I'm hoping that there's going to be a recovery sometime then. We can get back above 32.50. That'd be really nice. That means we can end up with a nice profit on all of those. But we don't know exactly what's going to happen. A lot of stuff is happening. Interest rates, inflation, uncertainty, a new era, a new presidency, a new administration. A lot of things are happening. People are scared and they're selling off tech. All right. And I mean, that's what we see. We've been seeing that for a while. We've been seeing that especially in Apple these past couple days. About a month ago today, exactly a month ago today, we're sitting at $143. And now we're sitting at $123. That's a pretty big drop off. But if you stick with quality long term, it's going to be pretty solid. Okay. These companies are backed by good earnings, and that's where you want to put your money. But when it comes to rolling out these options, you can do that with any option. You have an option expiring in a week and you feel like, all right, there's a very little chance that I'm going to succeed with this option. I'm going to go ahead and take like a 90, 80% loss on it. Use that collateral, use that money that you freed up from that option and roll it out to a different one. So if I want to do that for PLTR, for instance, I go here, I click it, I go ahead and close this position out for a $40 loss, and then I go ahead, all right, stuff might not be happening in the next couple months, but hey, if I go out a year, I can go here, bam, I can open up that position again and make some good money on that. So it's one of those things that you can do to, save yourself potentially, because you never know what's going to happen in the market. You can't time it. So if you give yourself a year, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, you're going to be pretty safe and you're going to be able to make a better decision. You're not going to make as much, obviously. And, that stings not being able to make as much. But I'll tell you right now, making a little bit of money is a lot better than losing money. I'm telling you that right now. I'd rather have you guys get about a 30% return on your investment than have a 50-50 shot of either making 200% or losing 50% of your investment. Like, it's not worth losing that, especially when you talk about compounding interest. You have an account of $10,000, right? You get a 30% return, you're at $13,000 now, all right? And then you get a 10% return on that. That is significantly more than if you just had the regular initial amount of capital. And that's the power of compounding interest. So, you can take those risks on a small percentage if you want. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm taking a really big hit recently, but overall we're still up a little bit, which is good. But obviously, look at that drop off. Bam, that's what happens when you use options. Stuff like that can happen, even when you try to play it safe. I try to play it super safe, give myself a lot of space and freedom to do that. But sometimes you just can't prepare for multiple big hit days in a row, and that's the type of stuff that happens. We weren't expecting a 6% drop off after the best earnings of all time. So those things happen. You got to be prepared for them. And unfortunately, I didn't go out far enough. That's on me. I took a loss on that. But we rolled those options out, and by next year, our account should be right back to where it was, if not hopefully significantly higher. So I hope this video gave you guys a little bit of transparency on everything that's going on, and strategies that you guys can use to basically save yourself when the position that you made is not working out. and you don't know what's going to happen in the short term, roll that out. Take a loss on that, but then roll it out for a longer date. When you go out on the longer date, you're still getting a really good price because the stock went down. So that means that option went up, or option went down, vice versa. So it's the same thing. It's just it's not the same percentage, because the farther you go out, the less percentage it actually moves. But it's just a strategy that you guys can use in your everyday investing if you want to do that. You want to be a little more safer and play it on the safe side. I recommend this to accounts that are above, 10,000. Start thinking about saving, capital preservation, rather than making a ton. I know you guys want to make a ton, but sometimes it's better to save and make a little bit than risk it and potentially lose half your account, because if you lose half your account, it's going to take a long time to get back to where you are. But you make consistent gains of 30-40% a year, what you can do on long-term leaps and being safe. You'll see your account grow at a really reasonable rate. So don't get greedy. Try to keep things in perspective. Hope you're all doing good. Like I said, feel free to message me. I talked to a bunch of you guys in the Discord this morning. I love you guys. I'm glad you guys are hanging in there. Like I said, message me anytime. I'm always here for you guys. But just enjoy your day, enjoy your life. It's a beautiful life that we have, and let's not take things for granted, like even the ability to do this. So, like I said, hope you guys are having a great day. But yeah, I'm here for you guys if you need me, and I'll keep you guys updated on all this stuff. But let me know what your thoughts are on rolling out options to a later date, and just stay safe, stay in there, and let me know what positions you guys are in. Have a wonderful day. Bye.